Crushing Defeat Media. Good morning, Mr. Depp.
Good morning.
We heard a lot about some statements that Mr. Waldman made. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And Mr. Waldman is your attorney or was your attorney?
Yes.
Could we please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 1245? Mr. Depp, do you see the statement here attributed to Mr. Waldman?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Depp, when is the first time that you saw this statement by Mr. Waldman?
The first time that I ever saw this statement was in August. It was when the piece was August 2020, when I was countersued by Ms. Heard. This is the first time that I saw any of these statements.
Can we please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 1246? Mr. Depp, do you see this statement that's attributed to Mr. Waldman here?
I do.
When is the first time that you saw these statements?
Same, when the countersuit was filed.
And could we please go to Defendant's Exhibit 1247? Mr. Depp, do you see the statement attributed to Mr. Waldman?
I do indeed, yes.
And when's the first time that you saw this statement?
This is the same. It's the counterclaim to August 2020.
Mr. Depp, do you recall Ms. Heard testifying that you did not assist her in getting her role in Aquaman?
Yes, I do, yes.
And what is your response to that?
It's not exactly true.
Do you know when Ms. Heard first auditioned for Aquaman?
Strangely, I know the date. Yes, I do know the date, because my band, the Hollywood Vampires, we were invited to play at the Rock in Rio concert, which is a huge rock and roll festival. Miss Heard wanted to come with me, and Whitney, her sister, had come as well. While we were there in Rio, we were rehearsing, getting ready for the show. Miss Heard informed me that she would have to get back to Los Angeles for an audition, meaning it's basically after our 2-hour show or whatever, we would have to get on the plane immediately to make it back to Los Angeles for this audition.
And when were you performing at the Rock in Rio?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was I believe it was the 24th of September.
In what year?
That was 15.
What happened after Ms. Heard auditioned for Aquaman?
I was informed by Ms. Heard that the film was going to be shooting in Australia, and that was of concern to her, and because it was of concern to Warner Brothers. So she asked if I would, because I'd had a multi, for a few years I'd had a multi-film deal with Warner Brothers, and so we'd been in business together. So I knew these people. I'd been on films with them. So she asked me if I would speak to them. I made a phone call, and I spoke to...
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
I spoke to the three upper echelon Warner executives, Kevin Tsujihara, Sue Kroll, and Greg Silverstein. And I told them
Objection.
What was the result of you speaking with those individuals?
I can only say that ultimately she did get the job in the film.
And can you please show the jury where you were sitting when Miss Heard threw the 2 vodka bottles at you?
This chair, that one here, was over here.
Could you draw a line in the direction where Miss Heard was relative to where you were sitting?
Yes, absolutely. So if I'm sitting here, she was over here.
Approximately how far away from Miss Heard, from you was Miss Heard, if you can recall?
I would say it was probably 10, 12, 15 feet, maybe 10 feet, 12 feet.
And approximately where was your hand when the vodka bottle hit it?
My arm was leaning on the marble bar, right there where the imaginary seat is, and leaning, kind of just leaning back and looking at Miss Heard. She just walked away with the second bottle. She walked this way when she threw the first bottle, which is actually visible.
Could you please circle where the first bottle
Oh,
is?
sorry, excuse me. Yeah. All that is the exploded first bottle that went past my went past my head, and the second bottle hit right up here where my hand was resting on the marble bar.
Do you know how the blood got on the floor, Mr. Depp?
I know how the blood got on the floor. It came from my dripping finger.
Mr. Depp, when Dr. Kipper was treating your finger, what did you tell him about how your finger became injured?
I told him that there was obviously, when you saw the damage in the house and everything, and the blood everywhere, obviously there was serious damage done. There would be no point in lying to the man. He'd been through it with me and Miss Heard before. I told him that she had thrown a bottle of vodka and smashed and cut my finger off, the tip of my finger, but a good chunk. I miss it. In my lifetime, MDMA, 6, 7, maybe.
And how much MDMA have you done on those occasions?
Not enough to properly. Not enough to properly experience what the chemicals are supposed to do to you.
Mr. Depp, what happened at the end of that week on May 27th, 2016?
May 27th, my daughter's birthday. May 27th, I was not in Los Angeles. I was on the way on tour, and that was when Miss Heard went for the restraining order. Oh yeah. Also, that was the day that Alice Through the Looking Glass, a film I'd done, was opening.
Did Miss Heard know that you were out of town on May 27th?
Yes.
And how would she have known that?
Well, I told her I was going on tour. I mean, that was well established.
How long were you going to be out of town on that tour?
2 to 3 months.
And did Miss Heard know how long you'd be out of town?
I don't know if she knew exactly how long I'd be out of town, but it was a pretty extensive tour of Europe.
How did Miss Heard's actions on May 27th, 2016 affect you?
ET can confirm that Amber Heard has filed a domestic violence restraining order against Johnny Depp. The 30-year-old actress showed up to a Los Angeles courthouse on Friday with a bruise on her face. Heard requested spousal support, but on Thursday, Depp responded, asking the court to terminate that request.
Changed everything.
Objection, Your Honor.
Oh,
Relevance
it didn't change
in
everything?
This lawsuit.
Sorry.
Sir, if you could wait till the objection, please.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Relevance.
Tourette's.
Sir, if you could wait till the objection.
May 20th, the afternoon of May 20th, afternoon, evening, my mom made her exit. She'd been fighting cancer numerous times and for many years, and she fought all the way to the end. And so my mother passed away on the 20th of May. Which does bring instant perspective into one's mind. I spoke to Amber that night. I called her on the telephone, explained to her that my mom had passed, that Isu had passed, and that I thought that the best thing we could do was to that I file for
Objection, Your Honor.
divorce.
Hearsay.
I took a pretty good shot to the face, to the eye, to somewhere up here. So I had a bit of a shiner.
Mr. Depp, do you recognize this photograph?
I do. It was with the chef and the maitre d' and the staff were asking if they could take a photo with us, and they'd been very kind. They'd given us a
And
private dinner card.
So where was this photograph taken?
That was in the that's towards the back of the Orient Express.
And what, if any, injuries do you have in this photograph?
I think the eye's a little bit bugged out, if you will. It's, yeah.
How did that happen?
These things could happen very quickly if you disagreed.
Objection, Your Honor. Non-responsive. She just asked, how did that happen?
I believe he was about to explain.
Well, I'll state the objection.
Okay. So, Mr. Depp, specifically, how did the injury in this photograph occur?
I'm sure it hit me. Is that better?
What has it been like for you to listen to Miss Heard's testimony at this trial?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
Oh, overruled.
Insane. It's insane to hear heinous accusations of violence, sexual violence, that she's attributed to me, that she's accused me of. I don't think anyone enjoys having to split themselves open and tell the truth. But there are times when one just simply has to, because it's gotten out of control. Horrible. Ridiculous, humiliating, ludicrous, painful, savage, unimaginably brutal, cruel, and all false. All false. No human being is perfect, certainly not. None of us. But I have never in my life committed sexual battery, physical abuse, all these outlandish, outrageous stories of me committing these things and living with it for 6 years and waiting to be able to bring the truth out. So this is not easy for any of us. I know that. But no matter what happens, I did get here, and I did tell the truth, and I have spoken up for what I've been carrying on my back reluctantly for 6 years.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right.